The mountains draw close here, as if guarding something worth keeping. The New River passes through this narrow space, carrying stories older than the town itself. In Southwest Virginia, tucked between ridgelines and time, narrow stands, shaped by water, war, railroads, and resilience. A quiet place with a voice all its own. The town gets its name from the natural narrows of the New River, where the river squeezes between Peters Mountain and East River Mountain. It was this dramatic gap that first drew settlers in the late 1700s, as people looked to this region's rich resources and transportation possibilities. This area also sat along early turnpikes, like the Fincastle Turnpike, an important 19th century route that connected remote mountain communities like Narrows with large trade networks deep into Virginia and beyond. Long before railroads and storefronts, the Narrows itself played a critical role in the Civil War. This narrow gap between the mountains wasn't just beautiful, it was strategic. Confederate forces recognized the value of this natural choke point early on. The tight passage along the New River allowed troops to control movement through the valley, slowing Union advances and protecting key supply routes deeper into Southwest Virginia. Soldiers used the surrounding ridgelines, especially along Peters Mountain, for lookout positions, watching river traffic and troop movements below. While no major battles were fought directly in the town, Narrows served as a defensive stronghold and transportation corridor, helping Confederate forces maintain control over the region for much of the war. The river itself was also a resource, used for moving supplies and supporting camps positioned nearby. Even today, standing here, it's easy to see why this place mattered. Geography shaped history in Narrows long before the town ever had a name. And like many Appalachian communities, the Civil War left lasting marks. Families divided, resources stretched thin, and a long road to rebuilding once the fight ended. When the war ended, Narrows would once again transform. This time, not through conflict, but through industry and connection. A post office opened in 1873, and by 1904, the community was officially incorporated as the town of Narrows. Narrows' location at the confluence of the New River and Wolf Creek made it a natural hub as railroads expanded in the late 1800s. The Norfolk and Western Railroad arrived in 1882, followed by the Virginian Railway in the early 1900s, bringing industry, commerce, and visitors to the region. Another little-known chapter in railroad history is the New River, Holston, and Western Railroad, which extended from Narrows towards Blandcap, knitting these mountain communities closer together in the early 20th century. In the post-World War II era, Narrows and neighboring Parisburg supported a minor league baseball team, the New River Rebels, who captured Appalachian League championships in 1946 and 1947. For a small town, that level of local pride on the diamond meant everything. The Narrows Commercial Historic District tells a visual story of the town's rise. Centered on Main and Monroe Streets, this area includes buildings from the late 1800s through World War II and was added to the National Register of Historic Places in 2014. Every brick here is a piece of the town's evolution, from train depot to bustling general stores to the General MacArthur Hotel, first opened in 1942, named for the famous World War II general. Today, Narrows blends history with small-town life and outdoor adventure. With a population of just over 2,000 residents, it's part of the scenic Blacksburg-Christiansburg metropolitan area, but still proudly holds its own identity. This little park in Narrows was made for veterans, for pause, for memory, and for thanks. Proof that even the quietest places remember their heroes. If you love the outdoors, Mill Creek Nature Park is a must. 40 plus acres of trails, creek crossings, and multiple waterfalls. Community volunteers like Ralph Robertson have helped build out trails to scenic overlooks like Sentinel Point, where you can see the river winding through the mountains. The park's original historic dam, hand-cut stone from the 1780s, still stands as a reminder of how water powered early life here. Just beyond the edges of Narrows downtown, where Wolf Creek and the New River meet, there's a place locals call Camp Success, a name as bold as the valley itself. But the story of this land begins long before weekend tents and fishing rods. During the Civil War from 1862 to 1865, Confederate forces once camped here, guarding the Narrows as a strategic choke point on the river, holding back Union troops and shaping the course of movement across Southwest Virginia. This 16-acre primitive campground lies tucked into the bend of the New River, with a boat ramp, fishing along peaceful banks, and waters that shimmer with smallmouth bass beneath the sun. Only tent camping is allowed here. No RVs, no glamping tents, just you, canvas, and the river's steady song. Campers who arrive grab a permit at the Narrows town office, pitch their camp under a sky wide as freedom, and let the slow rhythm of river life set their pace. There's something about the quiet at Camp Success. How the stars here feel close enough to touch. It's not just a campground, it's a place where you can hear the echoes of this valley's past and its promise for tomorrow. Here at Camp Success, you're not just camping, you're walking through history, dipping your toes in the same waters that once carried soldiers' whispers, and feeling the pulse of Narrows in every rustling leaf and rolling wave. Local celebrations, like the 4th of July Festival, light up Narrows Town Park, fondly nicknamed The Boom, after its logging history, with community music, fireworks, and family fun. Looking ahead, events like the Wolf Creek Runs Wild 5K and 10K and Tour to Wolf Creek cycling event bring runners and riders from across the region to enjoy Narrows' scenic landscape. Spring also brings family-friendly activities like Giles Kids Fishing Day at Town Park, a tradition of fun and community involvement. Like many Appalachian towns, Narrows has faced challenges, from historic flooding that tested the community's resolve to economic shifts that led to building revitalization efforts downtown. Locals and leaders continue working to bring fresh energy and new opportunities to Main Street. From early settlers and railroads to festivals, farmers markets, runs, and waterfalls, Narrows is a small town with big stories and big hearts. Whether you're drawn by history, nature, or community spirit, Narrows shows the enduring spirit of Appalachia.